Initial wave of strikes hit over 30 targets at multiple locations, degrading a variety of Houthi capabilities. These included terrorist training sites, unmanned aerial vehicle infrastructure, weapons manufacturing capabilities, and weapons storage facilities. It also included a number of command and control centers, including a terrorist compound where we know several senior Houthi unmanned aerial vehicle experts were located. On Sunday, strike operations continued against additional headquarters locations, weapons storage facilities, as well as detection capabilities that have been used to threaten maritime shipping in the past. Today, the operation continues, and it will continue in the coming days until we achieve the president's objectives. It's a much broader set of targets that we've been able to action in this case, and the other key differences are the delegation of authorities from the president through Secretary Hegseth down to the operational commander. So that allows us to achieve a tempo of operations where we can react to opportunities that we see on the battlefield in order to continue to put pressure on the Houthis. We have some initial estimates. I hesitate to say what they are because they're very much estimates at this point, but I think in terms of dozens might be a safe overall characterization. On the civilian casualty side, no indications of any civilian casualties. We, of course, have seen some of the accusations by the Houthis. We look at those closely when they do come in, but we have no credible indications of any civilian casualties. Houthis claim to have tried to attack the Harry S. Truman. Quite frankly, it's hard to tell because while we're executing precision strikes, they missed by over 100 miles. I would just tell you their effectiveness, I would question anything that they claim in the press that they're doing or not doing. The Bashad is not currently being used for those operations, but we do know that other vessels are contemplated for those sorts of operations. We're watching very closely to see if they return to the AO. The initial wave.
Oh, dude, how can you not just be so happy today? They have been messing around for far too long, ladies and gentlemen, and today is the day of reckoning. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Speak the Truth podcast. I'm your host, Matt Tardio, and today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, is being brought to you by Robinhood and EveryPlate. With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8x the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investment involves risk. Rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8x the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. Now, I seen somebody ask how long before Iran gets a spanking, and ladies and gentlemen, it's coming. It's probably coming quicker than you believe, but to catch everybody up to par on what has happened so far, there is reports, although unconfirmed. If you guys remember this morning's live stream, I had talked about a particular Iranian intelligence vessel that got rumored to be told it had 72 hours to leave the Red Sea. There's reports coming in right now from Arabian media sources that it's currently sitting down at the bottom of the Red Sea somewhere. It's unconfirmed, just FYI. We don't know. There was also multiple reports that ended up coming out across the internet today, which are entirely unsupported as far as I know, that 3 additional aircraft carriers have been deployed to the Middle East. The only thing that I do know, which sounds to be credible, is that the Harry S. Truman, that the Houthis can't seem to figure out how to target, has been extended at least like another month over there on its day. But CENTCOM has done one hell of a freaking job over there lately, and even this morning when I came back on, I told you that these strikes were kind of off and it looked like they were holding off. And I felt like they weren't going to go into Israel until Ramadan was over. But now it's actually starting to look like that might not necessarily be the case, because just today we got more reports of U.S. CENTCOM coming out. They even made their own statements. This one in particular came straight from CENTCOM. They said CENTCOM forces continuing strikes against Iranian-backed Houthi terrorists. Now, of course, this is following rumors that Russia asked the United States not to target the Houthis. What did I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? That's just blowing my eardrums out. Ah.
Yeah, so basically you're going to see a lot of stuff taking off and going and doing his thing. Kay Hodel, welcome to becoming a true supporter, and Brian Hudson coming in, gifting out 10 Speak the Truth memberships. Greatly appreciate you, brother. I mean, they ended up having some other like stuff that SemCon ended up putting out there. Again, loud as hell. I can't do it. It's just too loud, man. It's just too, like the sound of freedom. Well, you can say whatever you want about them being old or new videos. Either way, CENTCOM ended up posting those videos today along with their statement that they resumed strikes on the Houthis, which is a very, very good thing, especially because the Houthis are backed by Iran, which Iran backs Russia. Russia asked the United States allegedly not to do it, and we ended up just giving them a big fat middle finger right before tomorrow when Trump is now scheduled to go meet up with Putin to discuss peace talks for Ukraine. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe these whole peace talks will be shut off because of it. I don't know. And maybe that was part of the whole master plan. Of course, this is following all the airstrikes from last night and over the weekend. The Houthis, who exactly? They're about to be blown off the planet. This is old airstrike footage from this weekend that showed U.S. CENTCOM forces attacking and just wrecking house on the Houthis. Now, if that wasn't enough for your freaking palate today, when you're going to get tired of winning, guess what? Boom, Gaza. Gaza's back on fire again. Bless the frickin' sweet Lord. We're finally going after these dang terrorists to get rid of them now. I am a little bit partial to this conflict, seeing how that you have, I don't know, a terror organization that took American hostages, strangled a baby, murdered 1,200 people, and that was reportedly staged to attack and go into Israel again. Looks like Netanyahu actually informed Donald Trump and the Trump administration that he's going to go ahead and just slap the crap out of them. And it looks like that was coordinated with the United States of America in attacking the Houthis, because the Houthis have threatened to attack Israel should they decide to go back after it. Tardio's got some windburn. No, it's the lighting. It's the shading. I got a different light on, man. Listen, hey, don't judge me by my lighting. Okay. Like I am working on the different new, I'm like, continuously adjust the studio. I'm trying, man. Okay. I'm trying new things. Just take it easy on me. Take it easy. Okay. But listen, all the positive notes are that we are over there doing good things. And a lot of reports are coming out of Israel presently. The report that I told you guys about the U.S. going and sinking the Iranian warship, like I said, completely and totally unconfirmed at this period of time. I just want to make that perfectly clear. So if you guys see that stuff coming out, just know that it is unconfirmed. It hasn't been confirmed yet. But Sky News Arabia is also reporting that Iranian Quds Force experts were killed in a U.S. airstrike on Monday morning. Praise the Lord, we're finally going after him. I'm not a Redskins fan, guys. It's a lighting. Give me a freaking break if I flip some more stuff on. Jeez. Holy crap. Now, my good friend over there, Intel Schizo, let you guys know. He came out and said, listen, those Twitter postings about CENTCOM are completely and totally false so far. And he gives all of the U.S. aircraft status updates, aircraft carrier status updates in case you want them. There they are. They're on your screen. Feel free to pause it, go back, read them, do whatever you want with them. But that's where they're at. Okay. So as of today, there's been no new announcements about any of them coming out or where they are going. But Houthis, of course, decided it would be a really good idea to stand up and protest today over inside of Yemen of the U.S. bombing them, because apparently it's not cool to be a freaking radical Islamic terrorist anymore.
Thousands of Houthi supporters gather in the Yemeni capital of Sana'a, chanting against the United States and Israel. They say American strikes against their country will only unite the resistance.
The American and Israeli strikes that fell on our great Yemeni people will not weaken us or defeat us, but rather they increase our determination and steadfastness in confronting the enemies of God.
American officials say additional attacks on U.S. forces or commercial shipping lanes will be met with heavier action, as reports indicate fresh American strikes overnight.
Uh-oh, yeah, and by the way, those reports are also unconfirmed. Like you guys just heard earlier on in the stream, we went ahead and made an announcement because it seems like every single time we blast the living crap out of the Houthis, they try to claim they sink our ships. In reality, they just didn't do it. So good on the Pentagon for putting that out and clearing that confusion, something that I don't remember the Biden administration really getting after.
President Trump echoing that sentiment today in a statement posted to Truth Social, saying, quote, any further attack or retaliation by the Houthis will be met with great force, and there is no guarantee that that force will stop there.
Now, I also want to make this statement perfectly clear, because it also looks like, I'm going to touch on it here in a little bit, that Iran made a pleading to the UN. And if you guys remember, Iran actually tried tugging on the heartstrings of the UN claiming like a long time, like all throughout pretty much this entire conflict, that basically Israel and the United States was picking on them. Meanwhile, they're over there supplying the Houthis and Hezbollah and everybody else. 3%er says, Matt, get a beer on me. Brother, dude, I love you so much tonight. All right, let's go ahead and just keep it on rolling.
The commander-in-chief specifically naming Iran as the main backer of the Houthis and thus responsible for any future escalation, such as the targeting of U.S. aircraft carriers.
Our message to Iran is you better take this president seriously, and I think the Houthis learned that the hard way. President Trump personally oversaw the initial American strikes against the Houthis, with the White House releasing a photo of him still in golf gear, wearing.
That's the best part right there. I think maybe I have to point this way. That's the best part right there. Trump just chilling in a MAGA hat with a freaking golf t-shirt on, doing this freaking business. He's like, yeah, it's the Houthis. I'm like, watch this backswing, right? Like takes a freaking line out of freaking George W. Bush's playbook.
A headset, with the region bracing for escalation between the Americans and the Houthis. U.S. ally Israel remains on high alert, fearing the possibility of retaliation targeting their country. Close coordination is expected to continue between Washington and Jerusalem over.
Now, I told you guys, you are going to have ironclad support from the Trump administration over inside of the Middle East. I also instructed you and told you just to wait and see what happens when it comes down to what's going to take place over inside of Ukraine, because there's a bunch of things that are going on behind the scenes that are absolutely going to help the Ukrainians out. So do not dismiss any of that stuff that I ended up telling you guys, because it is very real, ladies and gentlemen. Like what we are going to be doing all of this, make no mistake about it, we are also going after the Russians at the exact same time. The way that they have designed this plan, it is like the United States of America is playing 3D chess, and everybody else thinks that we're just set up to play a game of checkers. Texas Actual coming in. He says, Matt, you've seen Tucker's latest rant on X about if we attack Iran, it will cost thousands of American lives. He's crying. His handlers in Moscow are pressuring their puppets. Yeah, you know what, Texas? I did see that. I saw that he posted that, and it wasn't even worth my time, because Tucker Carlson doesn't know his butthole from a hole in the ground when it comes to Russia or the Middle East. He's got no idea what the hell he's talking about. These freaking chicken heads need put in check. And I am extremely pleased that they're finally being put in check, because they've been ranting and raving for far too long, and it's high time the U.S. puts them in check. We have the most powerful military on the planet that is designed exactly for things like this, and they're all about to find out why the U.S. military has such a high defense budget. They want to play around and they want to play games like we're out of freaking firearms and we're out of weapons because we were sending everything to Ukraine. Well, they done forgot that we have national freaking stockpiles that we hold on just for precisely moments like this. And it looks like we're actually reaching into those stockpiles right now to start taking care of them, because these pieces of crap done earned it. And I can't tell you guys anymore. Now, over the weekend, the United States government, the freaking U.S. CENTCOM forces, went over into Yemen and they knocked out radar installations, air defense systems, missile and drone facilities, command and control centers, weapons storage sites, power stations, and so much more. So much more. Sana'a was like freaking rocking like it was freaking, I don't know, LA back in the early 1900s, just shaking all over the dang place. Now, we've been effing them up. And they thought for some reason it would be a good idea to continue to threaten Israel and the United States of America and warships. And I told you guys this morning, this is a brand new administration and it's not to be played with. I am so happy. If you guys are like, why is Matt excited? Because our U.S. service members, they're floating off in the Red Sea, are no longer sitting ducks, and they're going to be allowed to take the fight to this piece of crap terror organization like we should have done a long ass time ago. Like Russia, are you hearing me, Russia? You're next. You hear me? We're not playing around anymore. As soon as these freaking knuckleheads figure it out, they're going to find out real damn fast. This is a brand new administration, and this administration is not going to take crap from them. They can sit there and they could freaking whine and they can complain all they want. Israeli Pulse News ended up reporting an urgent message was sent from Iran to the UN Security Council, and I quote, "The Islamic Republic of Iran has not sent any weapons, missiles, drones, or equipment to Yemen, and all movements and actions of Ansar Allah, which would be the Houthis, in Yemen are carried out independently according to the orders of the leader of its movement. Well, that's too bad for Iran that the Biden administration finally got something right and actually sent a SEAL platoon over there to go interdict the boat, which shows that Iran had been supplying the Houthis, unless everybody forgot about the 2 U.S. Navy SEALs that lost their damn lives interdicting weapons that Iran had sent to the frickin' Houthis, and they've been continuing to do it ever since this POS frickin' conflict started off. Satiric Games coming in. He says, Shalom from Australia. Get another beer, mate. You're earning them. Thank you, brother. Greatly appreciated. I'm always here, whether or not you realize it or not. Oh, Tristan Allen, turn it up with me for my 29th. Tristan, brother, happy birthday, my friend, on St. Patty's Day. Couldn't frickin' be better. And also, let's just get this straight. Emily Schrader, she tends to get a lot of things correct. She is also stating that the Saudi sources are claiming that the Iranian intel ship Zagros, that one that I have told you guys about last year that was floating around the Red Sea and supplying frickin' like intelligence to the Houthis, has been sunk by U.S. forces at the same time that the IDF conducted a wide range of strikes in Gaza after Israel discovered that Hamas was planning another major attack. Now, I talked to several other people, and they all confirmed that this was a very real threat. And as a matter of fact, Israel had actually put out earlier, I can't remember if it was the IDF or the Israeli government officially, but the threat level due to all these strikes for all of the little surrounding kibbutzim up and around Gaza has actually been lowered thanks to the efforts of the Israeli Defense Force. You see, what you don't know is that Hamas was planning another October 7th style attack. And now that we actually have an administration that knows what the hell it's doing, they're not going to put up with this bull crap anymore. You strangle a baby, you murder American hostages. This is America, and we're not going to F around. And we're going to allow Israel to do what it needs to do. And we are going to go over there and smash your little freaking radical Islamist nut jobs in Yemen because they want to attack you because to protect baby killers, baby stranglers. That's what they're trying to protect. Happy St. Patty's Day to you, Joseph Florentine. I hope you guys are excited, man, because it's freaking getting real. And if you guys don't know the ship I'm talking about that reportedly the U.S. sunk, it's this one. And again, I have to use the term reportedly because it hasn't came out yet. But it is I don't know. I want to say it's a high probability. But additionally, what we heard as well earlier this afternoon is that Russian jets were scrambling. Russian jets had been scrambling. And now that I bring this up, now I got to go over and check out flight radar. Russian jets reportedly were scrambling over Syria and launching and heading towards Iran. So with that being said, now that I mentioned that, I need to pull up freaking flight radar. And do me a favor while I'm pulling up flight radar, just take a quick second and appreciate what I have up next for you.
Have you been ordering in more than you have been going out? Like to the gym that you promised yourself you would on New Year's, and yet here you are like almost 2 months later and you're like, man, I have been slipping. Well, there's good news, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a way to help. Simply use EveryPlate, and you're going to get a great discount at the end of this. I love EveryPlate. It is simple, delicious, healthy food that you cook right in your home, and you can pick what it is that you want to eat. They got options for everybody. So don't be shy. With the new Smart Swap recipes, you can swap flour tortillas for lettuce wraps, white rice for lettuce, and potatoes for sweet potatoes to make better choices for your meals. And get this, you can start today. Start with 50% off your first box with code ROB50 at everyplate.com/podcast. EveryPlate offer valid with auto renewing subscription. What are you waiting for, ladies and gentlemen? Get on over this. This is an amazing deal. I love them. Love, love, love them.
I'm also happy to report that that camo hat that you just saw in that ad there, that's actually making its way over into Ukraine, and it's going to be worn on the head of somebody that's going to be canoeing Russian foreheads here in the very near future. And I'm really excited to tell you guys about that. I know I wear it on the stream all the time, and I hope that SOB that's currently wearing it is working up his way up there. And brother, I'm tracking the current issues that you're at, and we're in communications trying to solve. I'm just sending you a message in case you're listening. We're gonna do our best to solve whatever you got going on. Street Runner says, hey Matt, it's my first time seeing your stream since I became a U.S. Marine. Rah! Brother, congratulations. I'd tell you welcome to the Brotherhood, but that's not the Brotherhood I'm a part of, but I am a part of another Brotherhood, so welcome in. Bryant Fortune ends up coming in, and he says, been watching this channel for 2 years. Thank you for what you do from Tyler, Texas. Dude, love me some Tyler, Texas, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for sticking around with us for so long. That ain't switching it up, brother. ASMR Matt ad read. Hey, bro. Listen, everybody's got bills to pay, right? So let's go over and check out Flight Radar like I told you guys I was going to be doing. Cody Gowring's a member of 13 months. Dude, that is a hell of a lot of truth supporting you got going over there, brother. Okay, so going over and taking a look at Flight Radar right now, it really doesn't look like we've got a lot of air changes over Iran. Now, this isn't unusual if the U.S. does, in fact, decide to target Iran along with Israel while all this crap is going on. It would make perfect sense because we're continuing to bomb the crap out of the Houthis. And if we're going to be bombing the Houthis and Iran's just going to mess around and find out, they might just come across a couple of airstrikes. Now, if that happens and you guys are over here watching Flight Radar and you're paying attention, what you want to watch is these flight patterns right here going up the western side of Iran, as well as these flight patterns over inside Iraq. Once these bombs start falling, you're going to see this airspace clear out really, really fast. And that could be because of radar scramblers or anything else. But right now, I'm not seeing any of that activity that's indicating that that's taking place. I would also like to point out that down here in the UAE, they have already said, well, at least last year they ended up telling us that this U.S. airbase that's down here, we're not allowed to freaking launch attacks on Iran out of there. But I got a feeling that maybe some new information has emerged from the Trump administration to let them know, FAFO. Who knows? If it ends up happening, that's likely to be where it's going to be coming from, but it's in the future. Now, the IDF ended up coming out with an update themselves, and they said, and I quote, in accordance with the political echelon, the IDF and ISA are currently conducting extensive strikes on terror targets belonging to Hamas terrorist organizations in the Gaza Strip. They are currently prepping the objective for the Israeli Defense Forces to go in and hit the ground running. And I told you, ladies and gentlemen, when it happens, it's not going to be pretty this time. And it looks like the freaking gloves have came off. And I mean, boy, oh boy, did it look like they came off. This is the very first video that I saw, allegedly, that's coming out of the Gaza Strip of Israeli airstrikes fallen on Gaza. This is coming from Palestinian, allegedly.
في ساعات الليل المتأخرة قصف عنيف في جميع أرجاء قطاع غزة من شمال قطاع غزة إلى جنوب قطاع غزة.
Oh my God, look at that starving Palestinian.
يا ساتر يا رب. استهدافات في كل مكان. في غزة وفي خان يونس. غرب. هيا صاروخ صاروخ. الله أكبر الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
Yeah, you guys see those lights that they got going on right there? I got this weird suspicion in my head that those suckers are going to get turned off real soon. Do you know why? Because Israel doesn't owe them one frickin' electron worth of electricity. Not that I can tell from international law. Israel's got no way to do it. If you want to be your own independent nation, if you want to sit there and brag about this crap, well, guess what? That light is probably about to be turned off. And do you know why? By the way, did you notice how clean cut that gentleman was? He's got a nicer haircut than I do. He looks he looks plenty healthy. He looks very well fed. Everything looks perfectly normal over inside Gaza. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at these starving Palestinians. Hold on. Wait for it. Let's wait for it. Where'd he go? I know we're going to see his face here in a sec. He showed it, didn't he? Where's he at? Where's his whiny little freaking butt at? I'm so tired of these dang terrorist supporters, man. I'm so tired of them. Look, maybe he's not, but the odds are, with about a quarter of the population of Gaza being linked to Hamas, that this guy and his bloodline somewhere along the way are also linked to Hamas. And again, remember, they're starving, they're hurting, and life sucks for them. Meanwhile, he's got this nice-ass sweater on, apparently and allegedly a pretty dang good phone, because he's able to upload this video of the Israeli airstrikes. He's clean-cut, he's got a nice freaking haircut, he's not malnourished. I'm so tired of these pieces of crap, and they're flipping tequila. I am just ready for all this crap to frickin' be over with already. So you can take your little whiny frickin' pro-terrorist supporting video and go to a tiny little corner or pick up a rifle. Either way, bro, it's over. It's over. Israeli Minister of Defense Katz, first statement following the airstrikes in Gaza is as follows. And I quote, "Tonight, we returned to fighting in Gaza due to Hamas's refusal to release the hostages and threats to harm IDF soldiers and Israeli communities. If Hamas does not release all of the hostages, the gates of hell will open in Gaza, and Hamas murderers and rapists will meet the IDF with forces they have never known before. We will not stop fighting until all the hostages return home and all the war's goals are achieved. Now, just to kind of remind you guys what some of those war's goals are, it is the complete and total elimination of Hamas. And yeah, that would also include their support networks. Why did I give you guys a freaking 250,000 plus figure, or a 25% population? Historically, due to intel estimates pre-war, Hamas had right around 35 to 40,000 trigger pullers in it, 40,000 on the high end. You go 10x of that for support personnel, they have a little over 2 million people. That would mean that you have roughly 400,000 people out of the 2 million plus population inside of Gaza that support those freaking baby strangling pieces of crap. Wrap your head around that figure, ladies and gentlemen. I am so over their garbage, man. Holy cowballs. Here's a report coming from Trey Inks.
Yeah, Sean, good evening. Breaking news tonight out of the Middle East. Israeli fighter jets are currently striking the Gaza Strip. The ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is over. The Prime Minister's office releasing a statement early this morning saying from now on, Israel will operate against Hamas with increasing military force. The operational plan was presented late last week by the IDF and approved by the political echelon. Reports from inside Gaza indicate there are extensive Israeli strikes taking place across the Strip in major population centers like Gaza City and the southern city of Rafah. As this story progresses, we will continue to find out more information and determine whether or not Israeli ground forces are involved. But remember, this comes...
You're likely not going to see Israeli ground forces involved until like several days of strikes. But at the same time, shock and awe is a very real thing, and thunder runs are a very real thing. And right now, Israel's got the full backing, actual ironclad support from the United States government to go in and get all of the dang hostages out of there. So I would not be surprised if they did move in as these airstrikes are clearing the way in front of them and you have infantry troops marching behind them. There's no need to warn them. International law does not require that to happen. They can simply continue to move forward. I feel like the days of all of the roof knocking and all that crap are done. And you know why they're done? Because I have yet to see videos coming out of Gaza of pre-positioned cameras set up on buildings waiting for frickin' bombs to drop on them. Those days are over. They're done. I promise you. Keith Tabert coming in, becoming a true supporter. Good to have you on board, brother.
After a nearly 2-month ceasefire that went into effect in mid-January and saw dozens of living hostages freed from Hamas captivity. President Trump's Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, has been working overtime in the region, ferrying messages back and forth, not only between Tel Aviv and Washington, but also in cities like Doha and Cairo. The Trump team was working late into this week trying to determine if they could get a last-minute deal together between Israel and Hamas. There was a plan presented that would see...
Really? We're trying to get a last-minute deal together between Israel and Hamas? No, we knew they weren't going to take it. It's called being diplomatic, Trey. You know better than that. And you've been covering this war long enough, sir. I feel like you would know that as well, that not one flipping time has that garbage ever worked out.
11 living hostages freed from Gaza, exchanged for Palestinian prisoners, but Hamas...
Yeah, how many Palestinian prisoners? How many lives is one freaking hostage worth, Trey? Runosaur coming in, gifting out 10 Speak the Truth memberships.
Hamas was simply not willing to accept that agreement. And clearly tonight, the Israelis have gone back to war against this organization inside Gaza. Again, the latest information that we have, Israeli fighter jets are flying over the Strip, striking Hamas targets inside Gaza at this hour. And Israel's Home Front Command, responsible for communicating messages of emergency to the civilian population here in Israel, says that all schools near to the Gaza border have been closed tomorrow as they are warning the civilian population about the possibility of Hamas and Islamic Jihad rocket fire coming from Gaza.
No way. No way. Hamas rocket fire might come from Gaza? Holy cow, I didn't see that coming. Why do you think they didn't warn them this time, Trey? Why do you think they just started freaking blowing the shit out of them? Yeah, there's a possibility because we've been playing like little poop games with freaking Hamas for so long that they might have rockets set up. And I got a sneaky suspicion that those were some of the first targets knocked out, along with some pretty freaking key leaders. I think you're about to see a different Gaza war. You know how? Because of this. You want to see Hamas getting blown up, ladies and gentlemen? Go ahead and give me a freaking thumbs up in the chat. Let me see some freaking U.S. and Israeli flags in the chat. Let me see just some freaking love. Let me get some beeps in the chat if you want to see Hamas getting destroyed by an Israeli airstrike. Let me see those freaking thumbs up. Let me see all that crap. If that's what you guys want to see, I want to see beep. I want to see Israeli flags. I want to see U.S. flags in the chat before I freaking play this sucker and we watch bombs get dropped on these Hamas holes by actual freedom fighters. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Wait for it. Oh, look at him standing around. Up. What happened? Where'd you go? Where'd you guys go? Uh-oh. You guys want to see it again? I know you do. Hold on. Wait. Up. What are you guys doing? You guys doing dirty Hamas things? Oh, bye-bye. One more time. Whoa. Oh, bye, Hamas. Bye. Oh, yeah, you guys like that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I know you guys do. I'm not all about celebrating death and everything else. I'm just excited to see baby stranglers finally go to see whatever God that they believe in and let him sort them out. That way we can stop dealing with them here on this freaking planet. Was that a slipper? I don't know. Could have been a foot, could have been a hand. I really don't care. But here is a new image from inside of Gaza. F around and find out. Andrew Doney coming in says, keep up the great work. You're doing great. Can you rank the uniform shoulder tabs from the most BA elite to least? Any interest in content on Army uniforms and what to notice for the uninitiated? Well, I mean, these are worn in order of precedence as far as I know. So this is, where'd it go? This is the last one I wore. I think it's the one that I have. So does that, I mean, that pretty much tells you, buddy. There's a sapper tab that's supposed to go in there somewhere. That would go down below the Ranger tab, but I hope that helps you out. Other than that, as far as official tabs from the U.S. Army, I think they got a jungle tab now. I don't know where they end up putting that on there, but yeah, that's where it goes, Andrew. That would be your little order there. All right, let's keep this sucker moving along and check out some other sweet videos and images from the good old Gaza Strip. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't know who just said beep, beep, boom, but that's really inspiring me to take that one song, click, click, boom, and just turn it into beep, beep, boom, and then show different airstrikes that are going to be taking place over the next couple weeks of these freaking POSs just getting rocked. Check that out. Yeah, you like them apples? Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. It's real fun and games when you go over and take the hostages until all of a sudden your freaking life turns upside down, isn't it? You guys should have kept your swimming pools and your 5-star resorts over on the ocean and turned away from radical Islam, but you decided not to. And this is the end result. And it will be this way until every single hostage is released. Now, that is a fact, and you can count on that. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, I told you guys in the beginning, I told you that actual ironclad support is coming. Other statements from Defense Minister Katz. We have warned repeatedly and can no longer remain complacent. Terrorists must be kept at least 80 kilometers away from our borders. By the way, we're talking about Hezbollah. The extremist Syrian regime must immediately disarm all of southern Syria. If the Syrian regime ignores our new warning, as it has ignored previously ones, all sites will be destroyed. Say that again. All sites will be destroyed, and southern Syria will be disarmed by a force rather than with leniency. Israel just threatened the crap out of Jelani, as well as decided to take the attacks to Hamas. What did I tell you? We're not putting up with this crap. You want to establish a Sunni Islamic caliphate? You keep that shit in your own territory. We are no longer accepting this radical ideology. It's gone. It's done. It's over. Over. Incog Faraday. coming in, gifting out 5 Speak the Truth memberships. We are done with your BS, terrorists. And I hope this serves as a warning, and I hope you hear me when I tell you this. It's over. James Lewis says, should we expect attacks in the U.S.? No. You know what you should be expecting right now? If we're going to be perfectly honest, you should be expecting some of these radical Islamic nut jobs to be rioting on college campuses. But guess what? The Trump admin started deporting those pieces of crap the other day. So let them do it. Let them get kicked the hell out. You think those riots are going to take place this year like they did last? No, sir, says I. No, sir. That stuff's over and done with. It's going down. Tucker and his girlfriend Candace can freaking like suck a fatty. All right. They can both go blow each other as far as I'm concerned. This is done. This is a done deal. The freaking cars are in motion. Things are moving forward. This is not going to be what it was last year. And I hope they understand exactly what I'm talking about. We are not putting up with your BS anymore. As a matter of fact, you guys want to see something funny? Because we just went through a bunch of serious stuff. This is not a joke. What I'm about to show you is not a joke. You know our White House is freaking ripping. You want to know how you can tell our White House is just ripping and loving it besides like Trump chilling in his freaking MAGA hat with a golf freaking polo on while he's like directing airstrikes? You know how you could tell that they're ripping? This is their Twitter post today. This is one of the many Twitter posts they put out. You guys remember that photo? Trump chilling at Mickey D's, waving to people, waving bye. This is an official. No, look, it's the White House. 1.3 million followers. The golden age of America begins right now. This is the new White House. And you go down to the bottom, Homeland Security. Last month, Rasha Alway traveled to Beirut, Lebanon to attend the funeral of Hassan Nasrallah, a brutal terrorist who led Hezbollah, responsible for killing hundreds of Americans over 4 decades spree. Openly admitted this to CBP officers. Bye, B. You're freaking gone. You're gone. And the White House continued to troll today. That wasn't the only one they threw out. Jaffo Actual coming to 10. He says, can we get a breakdown on what is going on in Panama, please? Lots of moving pieces, and it's on our continent. I will take a look at it. I am not prepped for that tonight. I apologize for that. But you want to know what else the White House put out? And again, like, I have to show this because it's absolutely hilarious. Like, they're not playing around either. We're not playing around here in the United States of America. We're not playing around on any other continent either. Check this out. Again, the White House official freaking page. The golden age of America begins right now. That little silver check mark is the official government organization. And the song, You Don't Have to Go Home, But You Can't Stay Here at CBP. The White House is literally trolling illegal immigrants, ladies and gentlemen. Check that out. The White House is trolling illegal immigrants on X. That's real. That happened. They put that crap out today. That is our United States government. That is the United States government. We are not playing around anymore. You guys think I'm kidding when I talk about what's taking place in the Middle East and what's about to happen in Gaza? You guys think I was joking when I said this is going to look 10 times worse than it ever has before? I'm actually happy for the IDF soldiers right now because they're actually going to get the freaking support that they deserve. They're going to have actual backing. We're not going to sit there and threaten to hold up arms shipments if they don't roof knock. We're going to sit there and do any of that crap. We're telling them to go in there and bring those damn people home and kill those murderous bastards that strangle babies. That's what they're doing, man. It is a freaking good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good day to be an Israeli. It's a good day to be American. It's a very good day, and we're not putting up with your BS anymore.
Talking about issuing preemptive pardons to these people.
But was he aware of his signature being used on every single pardon? That's a question you should ask the Biden White House.
Is there any evidence on that he wasn't aware of it?
You're a reporter. You should find out.
Okay,
Sean.
so I have the flight.
Oh, yeah. If you guys didn't know, we went ahead and revoked a couple things today as well. Tristan says, Matt, you need to play the El Salvadorian alien transfer. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that as well. But I mean, come on, man. How can you not? Look at that. Look at that freaking face that's just smoldering ha, 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 ha. Freaking CNN, you nut jobs. They're taking it to him, man. I promise. They don't even freaking care. They're done. Done with all the BS. And it's one of those things where you just kind of have to wait for everything to kind of get into place. Now, this is really interesting for what's actually coming up. I know I said I was going to be talking about what's taking place over inside of Ukraine tonight, but all of this stuff is launched and it's almost too much not to talk about and not to pay attention to, right? Like you have to. But the JFK files are also going to get released tomorrow, according to Donald Trump. And I think there's a reason why.
But while we're here, I thought it would be appropriate. We are tomorrow announcing and giving all of the Kennedy files. So people have been waiting for decades for this. And I've instructed my people that are responsible, lots of different people, put together by Tulsi Gabbard. And that's going to be released tomorrow. We have a tremendous amount of paper. You've got a lot of reading. I don't believe we're going to redact anything. I said, just don't redact. You can't redact. But we're going to be releasing the JFK files, and that would be tomorrow. Do you have anything else to add to that, Carolyn? So that's a big announcement. They've been waiting for that for decades. Then I said during the campaign I'd do it, and I'm a man of my word. So tomorrow you have the JFK files. What time will they be released? Tomorrow afternoon. Okay.
Have you seen what's in the files? Have you read them?
I've heard about them.
Was there
Anything interesting?
It's going to be very interesting.
Was there an executive summary supplied to you, Mr. President?
No, I'm not doing summaries. You'll write your own summaries. It's many pages. Is it 80,000 pages? Approximately 80,000 pages. So it's a lot of stuff. And you'll make your own determination.
I don't even think, Texas, I see you down there, man. I don't even think Ukraine has to worry about testing its 3,000 kilometer long drone, because they're just, personally, I wish they didn't say anything and they just struck Russia deeper than they already have. I think they've gotten pretty dang close to like what is it, 2,000 clicks or something like that, like 1,800, I think was like their deepest one, but 3,000 clicks, that's a good freaking movement pushing in there. Volk1410 says, hey, Matt, appreciate your work. I sent you a DM regarding a story involving the arrest of a judge the other night. Think you should take a look at it. I will take a look at it as soon as I get a freaking moment to like dig through my dang DMs. That's going to happen. Promise you that. Texas, you come in with that one. All right. Wow. 80,000 pages. Oh my God. It's an entire library. This is why I love AI, because I can simply tell AI to go through and dig and give me the information that I'm looking for in the JFK files and tell it to cite its sources, direct pages, and then go to those specific pages, put it in context, and be able to provide you guys with all the information. It's going to be a lovely day tomorrow. I'm going to have a freaking blast tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one hell of a day. Now, yes, thank you. Who said that? B squared. B squared, bro. You're freaking on it, buddy. B squared's on it, ladies and gentlemen. Give B squared a clap. Give B squared a clap. Because what is currently taking place over inside of the Middle East and the release of the JFK files, I can't help but think that that is like properly timed, because Trump is also supposed to be meeting with Vladimir Putin tomorrow. And Vladimir Putin, old Vlad, might be a little bit ticked off right now after asking the U.S. allegedly not to strike the Houthis. And of course, we continue to blast them to hell. How do you think these negotiations are going to be working out? I got a feeling that in the back channels, he already knows. Trump already knows that it's not going anywhere. So yeah, turn down for what? It's about to be real, ladies and gentlemen. These freaking pieces of crap are about to be put in check, and all this stuff is about to be over. I promise you that. But it doesn't stop him from doing stuff like this outside the White House, though.
Get this man out of here now.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't happen, and we're not promoting it for 1 second, but if that doesn't happen, there will be violence. Yes. And these people had the opportunity to stop it. And they didn't. Get this man.
Like, are they serious? Are they serious? They can't be serious. Like, you can't be serious, lady. You're standing outside the White House calling for violence with this freaking nut job with a sign that says, like, protect trans troops. Last time I checked, you're supposed to conform to the United States military, and the United States military acts in accordance with good order and discipline and force readiness, not social engineering, none of that crap. And I might have one hell of an interview lined up as soon as I get it locked in. You guys are going to love this guy when he comes in. He's a freaking legend. I have a legend coming on, hopefully, inshallah, to talk about this particular stuff. And if you guys miss that, I feel really, really, really bad for every single one of you. The United States military is not a social experiment. That's what got us in the position that we're at. That's why we're currently fighting on multiple fronts. That's why we're worried about Russian aggression. That's why we're worried about the frickin' Houthis and Hezbollah and Al-Jawlani and frickin' like another Sunni Islamic caliphate in Iran and North Korea and China over in the, like, that's why we're worried about these things. Because we took the stupid pansy butt stance when it comes to everything. Why don't you go try that crap in the NFL first? Why don't you require NFL teams to accept transgender athletes? Go do that first before you bring that shit into life and death situations. We're not around for it anymore. We're freaking over it. And you want to know the craziest part about everything? Hold on. I know we talked about a lot of things getting revoked, but here's the best thing that ended up getting revoked today. Hunter Biden had his Secret Service protection for an extended period of time, all paid for by the United States taxpayer. I didn't even know that. There are as many as 18 people on this detail, which is ridiculous. Are they all just watching him smoke meth or crack and slap hookers' butts? I have no idea. Are they the ones taking the pictures for his laptops? No clue. He's currently vacationing in, of all places, South Africa, where the human rights of people has been strenuously questioned. Because of this, South Africa has been taken off our list of countries receiving economic and financial assistance. By the way, South Africa, if you remember right, they were the ones, by the way, as we're sitting there busy bombing the hell out of Gaza and the Houthis and threatening frickin' Iran and telling Russia to take a big fat frickin' finger and shove it, they were some of the first ones to reach out to the international community and condemn Israel. If I remember correctly, if my memory serves me correctly, that is factual information. Go double check that. Please be advised that effective immediately, Hunter Biden will no longer receive Secret Service protection. Likewise, Ashley Biden, who has 13 agents, will be taken off the list. Yeah, you're damn right he doxed him. You did. He told him exactly where he was at, what freaking country he was going to be in, and that he's no longer under protection of the Secret Service. Ain't that a bitch? Frickin' Hunter Biden, dude. God dang, man. How much U.S. taxpayer money needs wasted? My corpsman was trans, had no problem. She was awesome. She testified in front of Congress. It's on YouTube. Brother, good for your corpsman. Because we had a trans EOD tech that showed up and it screwed a tons of stuff up. I believe it was an EOD tech. Screwed a lot of things up. Tons of it. And at the end of the day, it's all about good order and discipline, and U.S. taxpayers shouldn't have to pay for it. At no point in time, as an active duty service member, should you not be fit to frickin' deploy. And if you are transitioning on active duty, there is a point in time where it's physically impossible for you to meet any standards. I appreciate your corpsman and doing whatever it was that she did. I'm not even going to sit here and try to disrespect and say, like, she's a he or he's a she. I don't know which one it is, and I could care less. But what I do know is that the readiness of the force is directly impacted by all of that garbage. The U.S. military is designed to break shit and kill people, and either you're going to contribute to it or you're going to go away. Period. Period. Go listen to what Pete Hegseth said. Let that sink in for you. We are designed as military to break shit and kill people. That is the sole role. And anything taking away from that is on its way out the door. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that's what it is. And it's a fact that as you're transitioning, and even after you transition for a period of time, you are not required to meet certain physical standards, which means that you are not force ready and capable. Why the hell should that be involved? Bill Hoekstra coming in and gifting out 20 Speak the Truth memberships. You know, it's a problem when a lot of like the LGBT community wants nothing to do with the T. They want it cut off. I don't know who gave them the right to throw the T at the end, but a good chunk of them don't even want the T on there. Ladies and gentlemen, the days of stupidness is over. The days of mental retardation, thank you, YouTube, is over. We will not sit around any longer and take terrorist aggression. They're done. We will not sit around any longer and put up with Russia's BS. They're done. Or Iran's BS, or Jelani's BS, or all of this illegal immigration. I don't know if you noticed by tonight's stream, all of that crap is over. It's gone. It's done. I so look forward to tomorrow morning and telling you guys all of the lovely information of what's going to come out tonight while we're all over here resting peacefully because the United States men and women of the armed forces are on the front lines taking care of business. And if that's a concept that you can't grasp, you have no business being in the U.S. armed forces for the foreseeable